Hey, welcome to Caching in the Northwest. You thought I locked up there for a minute, didn't you? This is the podcast from the birthplace of geocaching right here in the great Pacific Northwest. Now, it's Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific. Some people are still not used to that time. I'm one of them. And they call me Chris of the Northwest. We're going to talk about geocaches and geocachers from here and all around the globe. So while you're using your snow shovel, hopefully for the last time, we'll be caching in the Northwest.
I used mine today for the first time. So
Oh,
maybe it's first and last. Who knows? But we're not talking about snow tonight. We're talking about caches you love. Because, well, it's a week of love, right?
isn't that lovely? Oh, wait, that's tomorrow. I've got to go do something. Let me stop at the station on the way home from the podcast.
Yes, it's Valentine's Eve, if there's such a thing. So, caches you love or how to use favorite points. Because you probably got some, you don't know what to do with them. Well, we'll try to help figure it out. We'll stumble through together. How do you use all those favorite points? Give us your feedback. Give us your ideas. Stay tuned to find out all the details. I'm actually here to learn something. I don't know what I'm doing at all. But I do know that it's time to bring in our Philippinesis long-tailed macaque. Some say he buys candy at half price the day after Valentine's Day. And others say he's in a trash metal band called Speed and Vigor. All we know is he's called Len Monkey.
Yep, and we're up next on Eurovision, so watch for it.
Eurovision, Maya-vision, everybody a vision.
Hey, we're representing the Balkans. Yeah, the Balkans. I mean, yes.
Or the Baldwins.
I'm preparing to mispronounce one of our sponsors a little bit later. That was probably the rudest monkey name I've ever heard. That was pretty awesome. And Jim, you just went through it like a pro.
The Philippinesis?
Well, the Philippinesis. See, when you were out gallivanting across the globe, Philippinesis became a thing.
Okay.
I believe it was Breiling put a comment in about something about the Philippines and he left the space out. And so I just at that time read it as Philippinesis, and whether it was a thing or not, I made it a thing and just wouldn't leave it alone because I'm annoying that way, among other ways.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, welcome back to the Philippinesis.
There you go. Well, and on the same theme of rude-sounding monkey names, Fear the Tubas shares that Speed and Vigor. It's not always what she's looking for. So there you go. I like the way you think. All right. A quick reminder that we appreciate the support of our patrons, all of you who help to keep this podcast coming each and every week. And a thanks to Landsharks, LANDSHARKZ.ca, one of our corporate Denali level sponsors. Hey, do you know?
I don't.
Tell me. Okay. Well, then let me tell you. They have the new Making Tracks patches and pins. They're backpack themed and are in all of the Making Tracks products as well. Hold on. They're backpack themed and are in all that contain Making Tracks. Okay. I don't know what Helen's getting at, but what I can tell you,
they've got them all over the place. There's
all kinds of Making Tracks products that you can purchase individually or collectively from Landsharks. And these ones, the new patches and pins, are so cute. They're really awesome. I have asked if they're going to be making trackables of these as well. And the answer is not yet. So stay tuned for it. It is, but yeah, go check it out on LANDSHARKZ.ca. Very cool new product from Landsharks. All right. Also, thank you to Cachly, the premier geocaching app for iOS, version 8.1 with Cachly Pro features offline maps of the entire world. So you can navigate while offline, the DeLorme and the counties, so you can finish those grids. And Chris, any updates on the CarPlay support?
Not yet. I just checked this week.
Okay.
Yeah, we were on a phone call.
Yeah. Actually, we were. Yeah.
I said, "Oh, check it out." See, no, he's
well, you're here.
Yeah.
All right. Well, find Cachly in the iOS App Store or go to cachly.com because that CarPlay support's coming soon. But even without it, the hands down best geocaching app for iOS. All right.
You know, we'll never have him back on the podcast if CarPlay doesn't happen, right? It will. It will.
And it still doesn't work for Android Auto either. So just so you know,
Right. Yeah.
he's not playing favorites there.
Well, folks, and I would be remiss if I don't also mention our third awesome corporate Denali Level sponsor, and that is Valemount, where every season offers its own unique adventure. Whether you're hiking dynamic summer trails, soaking the golden hues of fall, skiing, and sledding through that fresh winter powder available now, or enjoy the blossoms of spring, so plan ahead. Each season reveals a new side of Valemount. So, seek your outdoor thrills or a peaceful retreat. Valemount awaits you.
In French, that's Valemount.
The Valemount.
Valemount.
Okay. And if you want to know more about supporting this show, click the Patreon link on the cachingandw.com website.
As we learned this week from a voicemail of one of our listeners, that's Valemount.
I see.
Valemount. Valemount.
They may have copyright issues if they try and incorporate that song for their slogan.
Did you know? What happened? It just lost it.
Just now?
Yeah. Valemount has an excellent gas station, A&W.
An A&W in the gas station. Must be a Petrocan.
There you go.
Awesome.
So, okay. Where are we? In the show notes, it's time for the glow. And some have asked, what is a glow?
I'll bite. What is a glow?
I thank you so much. Let me move my phone out of the way because I just heard it on my microphone. Glow is the electromagnetic pulse from a cell phone. No, it is not. It is the geocaching log of the week. So whether you read it or whether you wrote it, we want to hear about it because great logs simply make geocaching better. Now you can send an email or a recording to feedback@cachingandw.com. Better yet, call in at 253-693-TFTC and show us just how you glow. Like apparently uranium glows.
So I've heard.
Uranium. Talk about my uranium.
Yes, and we are getting voicemails, I've heard. So that phone number does work.
Hooray.
Get it some good use. All right, let's see. Glow. This glow came from GC Bravo 137 Bravo called Free Samples.
Ooh.
Not to be confused with Junior Samples. He's got a used car lot. That's different. Let's see. The log says, so much for free samples. Of course, it was after 1 p.m. when I stopped by here with just 2 items on my list in preparation for packing for another geocaching road trip. I made a smart move by not getting a cart. The end result was that I walked out with 4 items instead of the 2, but I told myself the big container of peanut M&Ms was essential because it would make a good inner geocache container, and no upstanding displaced Washington State native can pass up cheese sticks from Beechers in Seattle. The other major smart move that I made was ignoring this cache until after I'd done my shopping. Had I smelled the bakery before I went shopping, I would have had to go back and get a cart. Adding my JFOW to the cache log and replaced as found. Thanks for the smiley. That's just finding our way. Which now we know as Chifow. Kachiga, kachiga, Chifow.
Oh, we'll get some mileage with that.
Wow, that came out of nowhere. I like that one.
It'll be interesting to see who gets to say that one tonight as we go through the patrons.
Maybe that's how we should just read his name.
That's what I'm implying.
Oh, yeah.
And he wrote it in the log that way, so, you know.
He's the one that started it. That's all I'm saying.
It's all on him. That's right.
You know me. I just read what's in front of me.
That's right.
Oh. And
All right.
Lightning McKing and Chuck Hicks are trademarked.
Okay. Did I miss the context of that?
The ka-chow.
Oh, okay.
Hey, folks, don't forget, if you're here, you didn't forget. If you're coming a little later and you're expecting to see a live podcast, you forgot that the podcast has moved to 7 p.m. You know what? It came early tonight for me. It's like, wow, it's already here. I've got to go do something now. So
it came real early for me.
Even though, we talked about it, we made all the plans, it's still new to us. So podcast is now at 7.
Well, and here's the thing. I mean, it's one thing, and we certainly appreciate everybody who makes the time to tune in and listen to us. But it's one thing to make sure you connect and listen and join the chat. It's another thing to set up the podcast and write the show notes. so thank you, Chris.
And still, I think, well, wait, when is the podcast now?
Yeah.
And I know Seattle says, I finally figured out this afternoon that the podcast had changed times.
Okay, well, then we're going to have to change it again because he's found us. So
we did it just for you, Winos.
We were in the podcast relocation program.
Oh, hey, folks, if you want to get into the chat tonight, and I sure appreciate all you guys, you do it each and every week. You jump in there, and we have good shows just because of you. Tonight, we want you to use the hashtag love. And I think you have to say it just like that. Love. Spell that out. And it spells out the same no matter how you say it. Huh?
How many O's?
Sometimes 4, sometimes 7.
Okay.
It's LUHHHV.
Ah, okay. Thanks, Jim.
There are no O's in that one.
Oh, okay. The chat lackey is only accepting LOVE as the hashtag. Okay. Use love for the hashtag tonight. And of course, you can use the hashtag FATAS to bring up any topic in the after show. And apparently we just have random hashtags being tossed out tonight because I saw hashtag podcast dinner. There's one is cheese and pickle sandwich with chips.
Ah, there you go.
Wasn't there another hashtag podcast dinner?
I don't know. Maybe. Everybody getting it going?
There it is. Pasta with Italian sausage, mustard, and basil.
Basil faulty.
I was going to say Sybil's husband. Yes.
Not basil. It's basil.
Basil. All right.
Okay. Sorry about that. We'll get back on topic now that we're done with dinner. And
yes.
Last week, I mentioned, did you know, Land Monkey, that we have a Discord server?
You mentioned it last week, and guess who still hasn't gone there?
Lots of
thumbs and hasn't gone to the Discord server. This guy.
We have had a great amount of traffic over at that Discord server. So why don't you guys go on over, head on over to the cachingnw.com website for the link.
It's a great way to avoid me.
Exactly. If you want absolutely no monkey interaction, the Discord server is the place to be for the next 15 minutes. Also, we're running a contest. Yes, a coin test, if you will. Take a picture of yourself at a block party, and I'm going to be generous, or an event if you can't get to a block party. Right? Not everybody can get to a block party. There's a ton of them going on, but that doesn't mean that one is close to you. So I'm going to be generous and tell you, you take a picture of yourself at a block party and event, tag it with Caching NW on social media between now and March 13th. That's a Thursday, folks.
So is that a hashtag Caching NW or tag like an at Caching NW?
Let's do both.
Okay.
Let's do all the tags, all the hashes, all the ats.
Okay. Makes it easier for us to find it if it's the at Caching NW. On Instagram, it's actually spelled out, but if you type at caching, you will probably have on your list of tags that pop up caching in the Northwest, but it's all spelled out on Instagram. On Twitter, it's at caching NW.
You're right.
Bless you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So do that now through March 13th. We'll take a couple of weeks off. We'll start another round of that and get you guys a chance to get to these block parties. You want to grab that icon anyway. We know you're going to be there. Take a picture of yourself. Tag us in it. Now, you guys know, because I've mentioned it before, I use the Googles. I
thought the Googles used you.
They do. If you
They
don't
just collect his data.
if you don't pay for a service, you are the service, right? You are the product. One of the things I have Google search for is geocaching, right? Send me any links you find that have been posted this week with the word geocaching in it. I get news, I get articles. It's all fun and games. I got one.
Until someone loses an eye.
That's right. I get the articles. I started reading this one and it just sounded funny. It's like, this is oddly written. And this is enough. I want to bring it into the podcast and talk about it. And then it's like something's not right. Something's not ticking right with me. And then I go and find the date. It was written in 2004. Okay. So first of all, this is 21 years old, this article. How? I don't know how it came up to my geocaching just this week, or my Google search just this week. So let's together step into the Wayback Machine, will you? Land Monkey, can you start up the Wayback Machine for us?
Yeah, one moment. Here we go. It's not starting.
It's cold out. Maybe it needs a new battery.
Could be.
Just a minute. I'll get it. Come on, baby. There we go. All right. Now we're going.
Smooth. The article's named as Toys in Those Hills. White County residents play game with GPS. Part treasure hunt and part techie obsession, geocaching turned a military application into an activity for families and adults who never quite grew up. Does that describe us?
Oh, yeah.
Totally.
Geocaching, also known as the global positioning stash hunting, is a game developed to use.
Well, is that what it's known as?
Yes, global positioning stash hunting. Now, do you see why it's like this is an odd article?
I like geocaching better.
Is a game developed to use GPS technology to hunt for the caches of goodies across the state and around the world. GPS users log into sites like geocaching.com, write down or download coordinates, and to start to hunt for one of the millions of caches and trek off in search of hidden box with stuff in it. The stuff is in quotes. That's the most accurate description possible for the items found in a geocache. The geocachers are asked to sign a logbook and trade items from the cache. Items in the caches can range from keychains to buttons to scratch off lottery tickets to oddities like crazy glow wild waffle light found in one cache.
Okay.
For most people, geocaching is less about what's in the box than the hunt to find it. These items, after all, are just generally trinkets. Wits End, do you want to pick up from there?
This local geocacher Woodwalker 9 said, it's not really about the cache that I find. It's the places that geocaching takes me. He preferred to use his online name only for this article, so we don't know the real identity of Woodwalker 9, but he said he's learned a lot about history through geocaching. He's learned about artist Peter Wolf Toth, who traveled the country sculpting statues of Native Americans. The 13th sculpture is located in Little Rock. And he's visited historic log cabins, submarine memorials, and a boxcar given to Arkansas by France after World War II. Everybody's got one of those.
Yeah. If France was just
France
giving them away.
This is kind of a theme with France tonight, eh?
And you know how they say Pixar didn't happen?
Mhm.
He's got the pictures to prove it. It says he's posted 139 photos of caches he's found on the geocaching.com, a website. It actually said that. No, it didn't.
That's how the article is written.
It says since he started in May of 2003, he has found 309 caches, which is like 10 years worth of fines at my rate.
Well, that's another thing that's like, wait a minute. He's been caching for 22 years and he's found 309 caches. This is
Yeah.
the best geocacher they could find in the area?
Yeah.
With 139 pictures on the website? And that's why it's like something just doesn't add up.
Right?
Yeah, the fine count.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. And then so he says those are things I never would have found or never would have known about without geocaching. They also
Which is
talk.
valid. And
Yeah.
and I think sorry, I had to jump in for a sec, Jim.
Yeah.
We're having fun lampooning the article and the people in it, but I think that's kind of the key point there is, as what's his name? Woodwalker 9 said
Woodwalker
earlier
9,
in the
yeah.
article. It's about the places it brings you, not about the magnetic nano under the park bench.
Yeah. So it's taking him to places that, and so it'd be interesting to find out if Woodwalker 9 is still active, or like little Jimmy Poor, who goes by the geocaching handle Fire Chief 1956. He said he likes geocaching because it gets him out and enjoying nature. Taking this little device and depending on something that is miles above you and finding something that small, he said, that is just amazing. He has 26,151 fines, according to Starcacher, for Woodwalker 9.
He's picked up the pace.
Yeah.
And 399 hides. He's saving up for that last one.
That last night. Wants a souvenir for it or something.
That's cool. All right. How about Fire Chief 1956?
Yeah, look that up.
He's a volunteer firefighter for Latona. He said he and his wife take their 4-year-old granddaughter out to hunt for the caches. They've gone on about a dozen together. He said they let their granddaughter pick things out of the cache when she goes with us. Now, Woodwalker 9 is one of the more prolific cache hiders in the White County area, it says. At present, he has about 10 caches hidden, which we now know is close to 400.
Yes,
There
exactly.
you go. I guess really what's happening here is we're dating the article.
Yeah.
Well, and then I began to think, well, this is just not a very active geocaching area. Perhaps that's the case.
Yeah. Well, and that's why Jay started the Wayback Machine.
That's right. I think it might have stalled, but please continue.
So anyway, Woodwalker 9, he's hidden most of his caches about an hour northeast of Little Rock. And one of his latest projects to try to offer a day of hunts to people who might visit the area. He contacted their Parks and Rec department to ask if the city minded him placing caches in the local park, and they loved the idea. We've had a great response, he said. Several people from outside the area have contacted him about the series of 6 hunts. There's a local optometrist named David Camp. Now, jury's out whether that's part of the Camp clan or not.
I thought maybe there was a whole nother family involved here. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, he says he only began hunting for caches a couple months ago, but he especially enjoyed the around the town hunts. He referred to geocaching, as many people do, as a treasure hunt. If we go back in the article, really, it's a trinket hunt.
Yeah.
But,
Or stuff.
Yeah, stuff.
Yeah, stuff in a box.
David Camp's wife, Cheryl, who purchased the family's first GPS device, says David hunts as often as his schedule allows and daydreams about getting out to do it. When he does get a chance to hunt, he tries to take his 12-year-old son, Kit, along with him. And David said his son is not always as enthusiastic as he is about hunting, but they have fun when they do go. I think we can all relate to that.
Mm-hmm.
He said it seemed like a good way to get out and see nature. You actually have a place you're going and not just hiking around without a purpose.
As one does.
As one does.
As one does.
Oh, so once I realized the article was 21 years old,
Yes.
makes a lot more sense. But still, it's just a different different writing style to start with. So no, it's not part of the Night Industries 2000.
Oh, I thought he's going out with Kit. It's like,
No, just one T in the article.
Michael, you've driven past the geocache.
Just one T. He's just the Night Industries 2.
It's an older article.
Yeah.
21 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. And Fire Chief 1956, not active since 2014. 161 finds and 8 hides.
Well, at least he hit some.
That's right. He contributed to the game. That was great.
Yeah.
I know people that have more than 161 finds and never hit anything. So
Mhm.
And many
Fire
thanks to
good on you.
Starcacher for pulling up that data for us. As much as we're having fun poking at people, and mostly the author.
Yes.
Do appreciate getting that in, because it gives us a little context, right? That was a very helpful
Yes.
bit of
Well,
context.
and that gives us a lot of actual perspective on the game, right?
Yes.
21 years ago, having how many hides did a Woodwalker have back then? 309.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, a lot of those hides involved serious hikes, right? You
Yeah,
look at the old geocaches and they put them on peaks. They put them in interesting spots that now you would go and maybe leave a favorite point at. Do you
They
see
put
what
them
I'm
on
getting at here?
They put them on the side of a farm road in Oregon.
Oh yeah. Or an, exit in Kansas.
It could happen.
But otherwise,
Oh, hey. Segue.
oh,
Fear the Tubas?
yes.
She's a sharp one. Okay, I want to back up just a moment. What I didn't realize, thank you, Wits End. Back up a little bit more, and now you can take the picture. Okay, there you go.
There you go.
This is far. This is near.
Thanks, Grover.
Oh,
Oh, that was awesome. So for those listening to the audio version of the podcast, you got to just tune in at this point in time and watch Wits End.
See my Grover impression.
I'm learning about Discord.
Okay.
Not that cord.
No, Discord, not that cord. Discord, the invite that I posted last week was only good for 7 days, so it's no longer good. So I've posted a new one, and I will copy that up to the webpage. This one lasts forever and is for unlimited amount of users.
I was just going to ask that if that's if all their links do that expire, but no. Okay.
See, that's what Land Monkey was waiting for.
Yeah, exactly. He didn't want that temporary invite.
No.
I want the real link. Come on.
By the way,
now I feel pressure. Like I've actually got to go check.
Seebeck Tribe's already in there.
Okay,
She's
she's got my spot. Then we're good.
Okay. She used that invite. It's done. It's closed. Never to be used again.
And she's in there forever.
Discord, California.
And I was looking at the Discord, and our Discord moderators are very active there. People asked, well, could we have a channel for glows? And certainly now there is what is a glow channel?
Oh, fun.
Yes.
A new
Along
place to
with
get glows.
Puget Sound events, if you want to post about events. And how about let's go find a cache? So if you want to do a get together to go find a cache, put it there. See if you'll get any of our local cachers in the area, or anybody who stops and just happens to be in the area or in the Discord and wants to go find a cache with you. Okay, Now I found my show notes again. A couple of months ago, maybe 2 months ago, I don't know when, sometime in the past, at episode 597, it's 5 weeks ago. I guess it's only 1 month, right? We talked about geocaching by the numbers. Remember when GCHQ released the numbers for 2024?
Yes.
Yep.
There was one stat in there that I want to talk about tonight, and that was total favorite points available. right? So we see that the number of favorite points from 2022 was 26 million. 2023 was 34 million. And 2024 was 33 million. So people are starting to use their favorite points more. Last year, only about 3.6 million favorite points were awarded. So that's about 10% of all the favorite points out there. 9.91, if you want to be Limaxy and give an exact percentage. That is an adjective, right?
It is
Sure.
now.
Okay. So let's talk about favorite points. When do you use them? How do you use them?
Why do you use them?
Yeah. What do you use them on? Does that make sense?
Yep, sure. I'm good.
Okay. I personally think this is my Miss America speech. I personally think that all favorite points should be used. I think leaving a favorite point falls into one of three categories. And I want you, Rylang, stop it. Wait, Chris thinks. And prove me wrong. I think they fall, giving a favorite point falls into one of three categories. The adventure, how you got to the cache location. The location itself, if it has a view or it's historically significant. Or the cache container itself. So adventure, location, container.
So is it open season on any of those three?
Yes. Now, do you find other reasons? Okay, other than the cache owner forcing you, blackmailing you into giving him a favorite point, him or her a favorite point.
Well, maybe later we'll talk about that. But I don't know. I'm going to debate with you on your first one.
Okay.
The adventure, the how you got there. That's not so much about the cache itself. I mean, to me, if that's what you're giving it a favorite for, then really you're talking about the location. Any cache can have a great adventure getting there, depending on what happened to you between leaving your front door and getting to the geocache. So does that mean you're going to give a nano under a park bench a favorite point because you've met somebody famous on the walk there?
Exactly. I would say because I went to.
No, you wouldn't. You're a liar.
No, I would, because the only reason I'm going there is for the geocache, and this happened on the way, a crazy thing happened on the way to the forum.
Yeah, but so now you're artificially inflating the favorite count of a cache that otherwise really, so you're going to draw other people to that cache because you happen to coincidentally, randomly have an interesting experience on the way to the cache.
For me, yes. I think because for me, that makes it memorable. Okay.
I think Chris supporters here. Is that what's going on? Thank you. I think if you're going to go off that premise of the adventure that gets you to the cache is memorable, I think you're talking about the location. I think it's because of, the hike you had to go on, because of the trail you had to take, the tree you had to climb to get to the cache. That makes it memorable. To me, that's location. I don't think your adventure to the cache justifies giving it a favorite point alone.
Now, I found the nano under a bench, but at a fabulous viewpoint, right? So I look at it and go, the cache itself doesn't deserve a favorite point, but thank you for bringing me here. Now, did I meet Tom Hanks on the way and get to shake his hand? Well, you know what? That alone would give you a favorite point. Thank you that, you brought me here. So
I think GSM times 2 is supporting you as well. He says, I'd do that. Giving it one favorite point isn't going to make it a high favorite point cache.
Right.
There you go. You feeling the love tonight, Chris?
Hey, CRS 98 is also with me.
There you go.
Memories are what generate favorite points.
Hey, I'm Canadian. I'm happy being in the minority. I know where I stand. I'm not going to get pushed around.
I personally believe that some geocachers don't have favorite points and such as.
That's immediately what I thought when I started reading this. I was like, that's what it sounds like. Keith says, when I give a favorite point, I think, would this cache look good on a list of caches that I can reminisce on in the future? Oh, that's interesting.
Interesting. Yeah.
So, Keats, does that fall into one of my three categories? Right? Do you reminisce about your travels there? Do you reminisce about the view, the location, the significance, or the cache container itself? Okay, Starcacher says, I give a favorite point for each FTF, okay, and for any cache hidden in a way that I have not yet seen. A cache where the owner did something fun or put extra effort into it, or if I had a memorable journey to the cache.
Interesting. So I agree. I would be in alignment with most of those, but not all of those personally.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
A favorite point for an FTF, okay. I mean, if you're getting a FTF 1 out of every 10 caches, then you can afford to do that. There comes a point where you may not be able to, right? Oh,
Yeah.
should we mention how you get favorite points?
It's 1 for every 10 geocache finds.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do Adventure Lab finds count in that? I don't think they do.
I don't believe they do. I don't know. We need a judge to rule
It's a good
upon this.
question. Yeah.
You know what? I like this. Fear the Tuba says, I bet a cache with an interesting adventure getting to it would make an excellent glow. Maybe that is how to highlight it. Now
There you
that
go.
I can get behind. That I support.
I completely support that. And then give a favorite point to the cache.
Quiet you.
Sorry, I had to do that. Bryling says Adventure Labs do not count. AFIC.
Yeah, as far as he knows.
I know. oh, that's what that means. I thought it was a word. He was just dead spinner.
It's a way of counting, and Adventure Labs don't count in that way.
Right.
Let's see. Well, you guys are incredible on the chat tonight. Fear the Tuba says, I struggle because I tend to target high value caches. So everyone deserves a favorite point, and I just don't have enough stored up. Right. I agree with that as well. Now let's keep going on this before we get into the other ways that maybe cache owners coerce you into giving a favorite point. CRS98 says no power trail favorite points for me.
Oh, but what if you had an amazing adventure on your way to the power trail?
That's right. Somewhere on the power trail, maybe what if you gave the first or last one a favorite point? I could see that.
What if it's a circular power trail and there's no definitive start or end?
What do you do?
No favorite points. Simple. Okay. Or you give a favorite point to the one in the middle.
It doesn't matter because you're never going to get out of there.
That's right.
Wino Seattle says, I have 587 favorite points available to issue.
Wow. That's a lot.
Okay. What else do we have?
Stuff.
Great Does It says, I've used favorite points on the 2 FTFs I have found.
Oh, that's a good idea.
There you go. There's another one for giving favorite points. I just want to point this one out by CRS98 again. I'm with CNW. Okay, let's move on.
Oh, by all means, you can spend the rest of the podcast just telling everybody how you're right.
I had to go check. I have 114.
CRS98 says milestones are another favorite point generator. To be honest, I tend to target high favorite point caches for them.
Yeah. So, I often end up giving a favorite point to our milestone caches, but that is because we have done exactly that. We've specifically targeted something about that cache that is already, it's one that would have gotten a favorite point whether it was a milestone or not. But so there you go.
Doramore says, I've given a favorite point for a DNF adventure. It was a night cache and we had a blast not finding it.
There you go. That's unique.
Wow.
I didn't know you could give a favorite on a DNF log, so that's kind of interesting, eh?
Can you give a favorite point like on a note?
Ooh,
That would be interesting.
I would think probably not on a right note, but I don't know. Maybe the research department can find out.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Keith says, love all the above. I like memorable adventures and caches. GSM times 2 wants to know how many favorite points Land Monkey has to give.
I don't know off the top of my head. I'd have to go and look, and I'm not extra motivated to do that right at the moment. Yeah, 42 sounds about right.
That is the ultimate answer.
I do give a lot of favorite points, but
Mhm.
it's because we seek out really neat or interesting caches. And so, I'm not stingy with them. I just have a different criteria.
Well, Doramore did follow up here. She says, I gave the favorite point after we actually went back and found it, but it was
Okay.
because of the original DNF.
Ah, there you go.
Stark Cacher, I never take away a favorite point, even if the cache gets archived.
Yeah, I don't do that either.
No.
That's interesting. Yeah.
I know some people do as a way to sort of reclaim them and then redistribute them out to others. I don't really have an opinion either way on that. I don't know if I haven't thought it through, to be honest. I don't know if it does anything negative for the cache owner. I don't know.
Well, I can see the point of taking them away if the cache is archived, right? It's not doing anybody any good. I can get that favorite point back and give it to another.
Sure.
But at the same time, do you want to take the time to do that?
Go find 10 more finds.
There you go. Keith says, when I find a cache on top of a mountain in a snowy thunderstorm, I make sure to give it a favorite point for the experience that I could live to tell the tale. Snow thunder.
But again, it
Thunder
sounds
snow.
more like he's talking about the location, not the adventure of getting there. I mean, he's talking about both, but if the cache wasn't on the top of a mountain, he wouldn't be in the top of a mountain. So
Heather says, I got to meet the basketball coach at our community college. Last clue was missing for the multi-cache on campus, so I asked the kid at the front desk about the trophy that was missing.
oh, that's interesting.
There you go. See, that was maybe somebody she met and did the favorite point because, wow, that's a small
she says
celebrity.
He went to get the coach, and I asked him about the missing trophy. He knew the info, and I completed the multi. We took a photo together.
There you go.
There you go.
GSM times 2 did an AI search, or AL. Maybe it's a lowercase L. It's hard to tell. No, Adventure Labs, also called lab caches, do not count towards favorite points on geocaching, as only traditional geocache finds contribute to your favorite point total.
There you go.
You didn't quite read that in an automated enough voice to do it.
I am sorry. I will try to do better next time.
Also called lab caches, do not count towards favorite points on geocaching.
Wow, you do that well. Is there a side gig I don't know about?
Can neither confirm nor deny.
Kitty West says, I tend to be generous with them as I don't see any value to hoarding them. That said, I recently ran out because I thought I had enough saved before my recent trip and need to stockpile some more.
There you go. And that's definitely one thing, like I said, we don't hoard them. And when we travel, we tend to give them out a fair bit. But again, it's because of when we're traveling, we're seeking out high favorite point caches. So
right,
it gets another. But that reminds me of, can you pull up what Wet Coaster said?
I would love to. Which one?
In Prague. There you go.
Okay. Thank you.
So Wet Coaster says in Prague, a lot of caches have high number of favorite points, mostly because of the location. And he goes on to say a magnetic key hide behind a downspout doesn't get a favorite point from me. So there you go. That's fair enough. Like if it's a magnetic key hide on a beautiful bridge over a lovely river with the swans swimming underneath and whatever, I would give it a favorite point because of the location. But if it's the side of a building under a downspout,
Yeah.
I don't care that it's in Prague. That's not a favorite point worthy cache.
I found some highly favorited caches, and I go there and I was like, why this one? I don't see, it was by a lake, but the lake wasn't that picturesque. I looked at it and go, I don't feel compelled to leave a favorite point.
And you had a boring time getting there, Chris?
Yes, I met nobody worthwhile on the way. Didn't even see an interesting vehicle while driving.
Well,
Cyber trucks.
And maybe something changed about the cache since all those favorite points were accumulated, because just finding our way, or was Jafau. I tend to give favorite points for well-constructed, well-maintained, well-camoed caches, but I've been to a bunch of high favorite point caches that no longer were worthy of a favorite point.
See, I like this guy. Yeah, that's right. That's the same. It may have been at one time, but now the bench is next to a telephone pole in front of a fence. Metal. I can't come up with the word.
Chain link.
Thank you. A chain link fence. I'm like, that's not the greatest view. Sorry, not going to do it. Wouldn't be prudent at this venture.
Wouldn't be prudent.
So, do you guys? We're getting late into our show, so I want to ask: do you guys feel pressured on a high favorite point cache to leave a favorite point because, well, everybody else did?
So anyone who's met me would know that I don't get pressured easily about anything.
Right.
So no. But if
is
it's
that your personality or your nationality?
Both.
You mentioned that earlier. I just had to bring it up.
Yeah. Hey. No worries. I would say, if I give favorite points for the reasons I give favorite points. If there was, if I go there and, I think it was, I can't remember who said it earlier, but one of our viewers, was pretty clear about it. And I agreed with most of what they said, in that, if there's a hide that I've never seen before, like, oh, I have not seen somebody do it. This is creative.
Yes.
Like your first lamppost cache, right?
You know what? My first lamppost cache probably got a favorite because at that time I had never, it was my first. My first magnetic electrical plate probably got a favorite because oh my goodness, I've never seen that, right? And that's part of what you're expressing through giving it the favorite points. So to me, it's like whatever, does it. So if there's something creative. I also agree though, like if it has a lot of favorite points because at one time it was cool, but it's not been maintained and now it's just, sort of a ratty piece of crap.
Yep, like that. Yeah. CRS 98 says, or the gadget cache is now kind of broken. It's just a simple, stupid traditional.
Stupid traditional. How do you feel about traditional CRS 98?
Bryling says this cache, let's see, it's GC Alpha 6 Motel 4. Now I'm completely lost. What's
Romeo?
that? Romeo. Has 100% favorite points. That's the night wig where I go. Yeah, you know where it is.
Yeah, we've done it. It's up in our neck of the woods. Yep. If you live in the state of Washington or anywhere near the lower mainland of British Columbia, make a trip for this geocache. Do it at night. Bring some friends. It is amazeballs.
Yeah,
it is definitely worth the experience.
See, I'd be tempted to go find it and not award it a favorite point just to break that 100% streak. Just because I'm ornery that way.
And I'm the bad guy. Okay.
I said I'd be tempted. I didn't say actually do it.
I was right next to this one, but it was in the summer. And I was just up there for a day and I was like, I have to stay till about 9 o'clock at night for it to get dark enough to appreciate this. No, I don't have time for that. Sorry. I think it was on a Sunday. I had to get to work next day. Dora Moore says, I usually state why I'm awarding a favorite point in my log for the adventure, the view, or the creativity.
I've done that.
I almost always do that as well. And I feel like that sort of is my way of justifying. And in a way, it's letting the CO know, hey, I just gave you a favorite point. Because unless you're a premium member with Project GC, I don't think there's any way you really get notified.
You don't
that
get
you got a
dinged to
favorite
that. Hey, you got a favorite point.
Yeah, Project GC does that if you're a premium member with it, but otherwise, I don't think.
Keats appreciates your hat tonight, Land Monkey.
Hey, made in Nelson, BC. So
Ooh.
there you go.
What about old caches? Says GSM times 2. Mingo has a lot of favorite points for an ordinary hide.
Oh, I have an opinion on this, Jim. I want to hear from you before I spout off.
What's a Mingo?
I'm trying to remember if I actually awarded Mingo a favorite or not. Like Land Monkey, I don't feel necessarily pressured to do so, so I may not have. It's the standard answer. It depends. If it was just old and there's nothing else significant about it, maybe not. If it was just old and there's nothing significant about it except I have always wanted to go there, or I needed it for a milestone, or I needed it for a chart or something, then maybe. I guess just being old isn't enough to give it a favorite point for my book.
Yeah. Wow. Definitely. I agree. Yes for Potter's Pond, no for Mingo. Now I haven't found Mingo yet, but I have found other old caches of a similar nature and did not give them a favorite point because the only reason people are giving this a favorite point at this point in time is because it's old. Like,
Yeah.
What's the point? Potter's Pond is in an amazing location, and yes, Chris, it's a fun adventure getting there.
Thank
But
you.
it's a fun adventure getting there because of the amazing location it's been put in.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that approach that John suggested of, yes for the oldie Potter's Pond, no for the oldie Mingo. And I would do the same.
Cheers from Nelson. It's very Canadian.
Yeah, there you go. Follow me on Instagram for more.
Vera Kennedy says, sounds like fun. Enjoying your podcast.
Oh, well, that's very kind. I wonder who that is.
I wonder too. Just had to throw that out there.
By the way, in case you're curious, Mingo has 4,082 favorite points.
And great, but not going to get a +1 from me.
I looked at my log, and can you see on your log whether you awarded a favorite point or not? Because I don't see any. I didn't make a note that I did. I don't think I did.
Not sure how that works.
Bryling says, what if Mrs. Land Monkey wants to give a favorite point, but Mr. Land Monkey doesn't?
Well, then it gets one.
I think we all know how that would roll out.
You have to ask.
That's a silly question.
CRS98 says, this cache, GC9 Yankee Echo Quebec 1 is an example of what I was thinking. The gadget is supposed to be a Wi-Fi enabled lock. The lock is broken, and now it's just a cache, not favorite point worthy.
Yeah, but it probably got a bunch of favorite points early on in its career, which would probably still draw people to it. So it's kind of unfortunate it's not maintained.
Right. I've found some incredible gadget caches, right? Yeah, that's worthy. Subway Mark gave Mingo a favorite as it had a special effort, as he made a special effort to stop there and really like the interpretive sign. Okay.
Fair enough. And I'm not saying like everybody has to cache my way. I'm just saying my opinion is about how I would give out favorites.
What about the original stash here or down in Oregon? It's not a great location, but there's the sign, there's significance behind it.
Yeah, but there's a cool plaque, and so there.
Oh, if you're curious, you can go to favorite and say remove your favorite point to see if you gave it one.
Well, I went a different way. I went and clicked edit log,
Mhm.
and I still have the opportunity to award one. So apparently I did not.
Because
There
you
you
can't
go.
give more than one. You can
Correct.
only give one favorite point. Well, I loved this discussion on geocaches that you love, or how to use favorite points.
It's been fun, Chris. Thanks for coming up with the topic and being willing to have a debate on it.
Oh, always. I mean, that's the purpose of why we're here. Let's talk about it. Let's see, you know, because everybody plays the game a little bit differently. There are some rules that we have to live by, and others are suggestions, right? Do we have to give a favorite point on a cache that is 100% favorite points? No.
Is that like the
And
pirate code?
exactly. And are you coerced by your geocaching friends to say, "Hey, I just put out this geocache. Would you put a favorite point on it for me?" What if it doesn't
If it's
deserve it?
worthy of one,
Yeah.
absolutely.
You know what? Maybe we should just start all over. Wino Seattle had a clogged toilet. It's all cleared now, but he missed a lot of the podcast.
I'm with GSM times 2.
TMI.
Yeah.
Keats says historical context is important for me. I think I did award a favorite to the original stash.
Yeah, there you go then.
Yeah.
Oh, and Jafau. Sorry. You gonna
No.
do this one first?
No, you started. Who's that again?
Jafau. Jafau. I just figured out how to give a favorite point on a DNF. Log it as found with favorite point, then delete the found log. The favorite point remains. It works for Chris's adventures getting to the caches he didn't find. Burn.
I like it.
Okay,
You feel the love.
I did. let me go back up to that other comment here. Kitty Quest says the recent locationless caches have so many favorite points that they show at the top of the list of your finds with the most favorite points. I think that's a bit distorting,
Or fistorting.
or that is distorting.
Frustrating.
Distorting.
Yes.
But yes, I agree. It that artificial skewing,
Mhm.
yeah, it's meaningless.
In the past, when I've sorted by favorite points of the caches I found, the geocache headquarters geo tour, that the proper all get all the right geos in the right spot, has always come up to the top of the list. But some of those are very good, like the cherry tree. Excellent.
They were creative caches,
Yeah.
right? They just each of them deserved a favorite point because they're close to HQ. And during the block parties, they drew in thousands of finders. And if everybody gave it a favorite point, then they would have a lot of favorite points because they were good caches and deserved it.
Completely agree. And on that note, since we all agree,
There you go.
thanks for taking the time to loosen in, listeners.
To loosen up.
Maybe somebody else should rate. Thanks for
I don't
tuning
know.
in.
Are you wound a little tight tonight, Chris?
I might be, and I just don't know about it. Okay. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Caching in the Northwest.
Absolutely. We want to take a moment to thank Land Sharks, Cashly, and Tourism Valemount, our corporate Denali level sponsors. Landsharks.ca is the outdoor adventure and geocaching store. Check them out online. Look for those new pins and patches. Cashly is the geocaching app for iOS. Download it for your iPhone. And hey, whether you're seeking outdoor thrills or just a peaceful retreat, Valemount awaits you. We want to thank all of our faithful Denali level supporters, of course, Landsharks, Cashly, and Tourism Valemount, but also Cool Cow Cachers and Hawaiian Miley, probably on her way home from work right now. So hopefully you're driving safe. If you want to know more about supporting the show, well, head on over and click that Patreon link on the cachingandw.com website.
Yeah, just like Butterfly Girl did.
And Northwest Cats.
Ooh, is that a new? I don't recognize that one.
I think we should pronounce it as Noah Cats.
Noah Cats. Okay.
It's Land Monkey's favorite rap star, NW Cats. He changed his name.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Terrible lunch, great geocacher, gas station tuna.
Great location and cashier would be Island Gal.
Be Pendragon.
You feel some pressure there, Chris.
I'm not going to be coerced into saying something.
And
Great
just
guy.
as nice, it's Genies.
How about BC Rock Crawler?
M-Nerve.
Limax.
LG 9000.
Kid Vegas 19.
If you're a sloppy drinker, you need a wet coaster. Well, you get a wet coaster.
You get a wet coaster. Team Noltex.
Geocaches.
Not me, but you, Dak.
Doramore.
Seabeck Tribe.
The Geo Birder.
Geo Nav Pro.
The Cacher. We only know as Alan. Alan, send us your
Alan.
your geocaching name.
Or we're going to do this. Alan. Trexer.
Subway Mark.
Skyhawker.
Logwork.
Kitty Quest.
Ackerdock.
J-Car.
The Camp Clan.
GSM times 2.
Railroad.
Antaeus.
Korsgat.
Jafow.
Active in the chat. Keats 94.
Peach of Washington.
CRS 98.
Just Carlo.
Mountain bike.
Utox to rocks.
Green Words.
Terrible teas.
Okay, Boss Nass. Flagman.
Lost Ken.
Boomer 365. I went far away. to see
And then you came near.
and then I came near.
Back the truck up.
Oh my gosh, we're having fun tonight, guys.
Folks, thanks for taking the time to listen to this episode of Caching in the Northwest. Your support helps keep the quality shows coming. If you like the show, please click the Patreon link on the cashingnw.com website. Better yet, share your ideas on what you want us to talk about. If you like the vibe, please subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and give us a review. If you were in a restaurant, you would tip. If you were in a live audience, you would clap. But since you're on a podcast, leave us a free, fast, fabulous, fantastic 5-star review. You can call into 253-693-TFTC. Leave us a comment, ask us a question, or give us one of your extra favorite points any time of the day or night. And of course, you can email us at feedback@cashingnw.com. Join us every Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific for a live show and chat. The show is produced by Chris Umfenauer, Jim Paulwitz, Jay Kennedy, and Brian Lang. It's licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution 3.0 license, copyright 2025 by Chris Umfenauer. And folks, I ask you to stay tuned for
The After Show.
the after show.
After show. Oh, I got a wavy hand.
You know,
What's up?
gonna miss the Shatnerization of just finding our way.
Well, we can do that too. We'll mix it up.
Oh, is so much fun to say.
It is. We'll mix it up.
Maybe I'll Shatnerize somebody else's name.
That just sounds rude when you say it.
Heard of Betty Davis eyes. I don't know about Shatner eyes.
Hey,
Episode of love.
there is some news like way up at the beginning about an event or a couple of events coming in the Northwest. Do we want to?
Boy, you know what? I purposely didn't acknowledge them. Do you
Oh,
know
okay.
why?
No, why?
Because they emailed earlier in the week, and I just sent an email back this evening before the podcast, like, hey, let's come on and talk about that. But we should mention it just to be fair and honest.
Pew pew.
Yeah. Wino Seattle is very happy with the outcome of the big game.
Okay, that's nice.
And he knows how to spell a bird, apparently, right?
Okay.
Where the mayor of Philadelphia doesn't know how to spell that bird.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I
Oh.
have no context because I don't watch the sports ball game.
Okay. The Philadelphia Eagles beat the Kansas City Chiefs and
Handily.
beat them well.
Okay. Good job.
Yes.
Awesome.
I mean, it was a shocking game. I didn't think that would be that much.
Okay.
Let's see.
Wake me up and we're going to talk hockey.
Ooh,
What's up?
I don't know.
Valentine's
Are an excuse to sell chocolate.
So there's a couple of events in the Northwest that I want to highlight, and there we go. There's the first one, which has a terrible GC code. GC Alpha Whiskey Alpha
Yankee.
Yankee Juliet. That's
Away, Jay. Away.
Yeah, this is why I don't like that. I refuse to say that. It's the 2025 Return of the Ape event. So let's see if we can get that up to mega, folks. That'll be fun.
Mm-hmm. Yes, the ape event coming back is huge.
Okay, so we're gonna have a show on that soon. Then we'll feature that and bring some guests in to talk about it.
So Wino Seattle, respond to my email. Let's get something set up, and we'll talk about the ape event, and we'll talk about the camp out this year for the WSGA.
Absolutely. Sorry, I'm reading what Fear the Tunas got called out.
And Wits End, that sounded very.
Did I just say tunas? I meant tubas. I misspoke.
Fear the gas station tunas.
As one should. All right. Anyhow.
By the way, Land Monkey, I don't know if you know this, but somebody sent us a childhood video of you.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Let's see if I can pull it up here.
Am I being chased by a rooster? Because that's the only one that I really remember.
No, but you mentioned sports ball and all. This was Land Monkey in his crib.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome. I love it. Oh,
I came across that tonight and thought of you.
Wait. You're using your hands? You can't use your hands to grab the puck.
He's a goalie.
Oh, okay.
That's awesome. I love it. Very Canadian. Okay. The other event. Yeah, there we go. The other event is GC Bravo 1 X-Ray Yankee. And that one we're excited for. That is the May 4th, which is on the 3rd, event in Bellevue. And now it says and a CCE. So is it a CCE? Is that, or is there also a CCE?
How am I supposed to answer your questions?
I don't know. Well, I'm asking everyone because I don't know. But the May the 4th event is the follow-on to last year's May the 4th event put on by Bounce and Goblin Dust, and a follow-up to the Halloween event put on by Bounce and Goblin Dust. And if you have not made your way to one of these events, they are so amazing, so much fun. It is gadget cache overload.
It is a CCE.
It is a CCE. Okay, thank you very much. Thanks, Spreader. We moved the podcast time for him.
He changed it to a CCE. Yes,
Okay.
yeah, that's right.
Can you be a CCE and a mega if it gets enough people?
There's no whiskey in that code, but winos may have some for you if you attend.
Right.
Fair enough.
A CCE can't upgrade to a mega.
A fake.
A fake.
FAABK. As far as Berling knows.
Oh, this is too much fun tonight. Okay, so a Jedi or Sith challenge the Jedi or Sith challenge is a theme event that invites participants to engage in fun and interactive treasure hunt inspired by the Star Wars universe.
Fun.
Join us for this galactic gathering celebrating Star Wars Day. Only it's on May 3rd. May 3rd, 2025 in Bellevue from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. That's 6 hours of Star Wars fun.
Awesome. That sounds like a lot.
Participants are encouraged to dress up as their favorite characters. There's no limitations on that.
It doesn't have to be from the Star Wars.
I'm as Dracula.
Question mark? Exclamation point? Those are No. Wrong characters.
Oh, right. Those are special characters.
Oh, there's some special characters, all right.
Amber Sand. Come as Amber Sand. That's a very special character.
Amber Sand, is she from Tatooine?
Could be.
Okay.
Well, you
can just leave it there.
Anakin doesn't like sand. It gets everywhere.
That's right.
Okay. Well, I learned something tonight, just so you know.
What's that?
Tomorrow is National Flag of Canada Day from 1965, which, prompted me to go look up what was the flag prior to 1965. Apparently, it was the Canadian Red Ensign from 57 to 65.
I didn't know that.
I didn't.
I would not have known that name at all.
I've
Most
known
people
some of
don't
the.
know how young our flag actually is.
I did not. Yeah, it's older than I am, but it's still pretty young.
It's still pretty young.
And prior to that
Thing
was
of
the
beauty.
Canadian Blue Ensign, because that's creative. Let's just
That
change
looks
blue to red.
Australian.
You notice it? The Red
It does,
Ensign only
doesn't it?
made it for like 7-8 years.
Well, you'll notice that most of the Commonwealth countries had have a flag that has that, the Union Jack and
Union
then
Jack in it, yeah.
something else unique to it. And yeah, ours was no different. And then we decided, nope.
Back to the Red Ensign. So apparently they only went to the Blue Ensign from 21 to 57. There you go.
That's 30 years of blue.
And then
Then
there's
they
the
left
Red Ensign.
their blue period.
So that was the original, apparently. Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Still red, the color of maple syrup. Oh, wait.
Flag Day is February 15th. I'm younger than the flag, but I have friends that are older than the flag. Well, which flag?
Yeah.
Than the ensign
That
flag?
specific one on that pole right there. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, the Hawaii state flag has the Union Jack. That's true.
I don't know if I realized that. That's cool.
Boy, they're working late. They just delivered an Amazon package to my front door.
Wow. Ooh, exciting. What'd you get?
I don't know. I'm in here.
Well, go get it. Come back and show us.
You know how it is. You order 7 items. You say, yes, ship them all at one package to save costs. And instead you get 12 packages because they split 5 of them up into 2 different shipments.
Yeah. And they took one thing and broke it in half and put it in.
Yeah, and they come on 10 different days. So it's just,
Too funny.
That happens.
That happens.
And you get, your smallest item in a 10 cubic foot box.
Yes.
For like an SD card or something. A gift card. Let's put it in this large box. They'll never guess. Well, folks, thank you so much for tuning in. We love you. We love geocaches. We love favorite points. But most of all, we want you to get out there and get caching very safely in this winter weather in the Northwest.